until they can literally slice your brain, they don't know what part of that brain has been affected the most. But of course, there's indications. But mainly, they will diagnose someone just by their symptoms. Yeah. What can you do? You can explore different treatment options if you suspect you have dementia or someone you love, or no, simply go to the doctor. It's amazing how many times this disease can progress to a point where they could have had a much more meaningful life if they had just gone to the doctor and said, okay, you know, I lose my keys more often than I should. I don't remember what I should buy for groceries anymore. And forgetting to eat, because there is that point where you know that something is going on. But people are afraid, they're embarrassed, they're vulnerable, because nobody wants to know that something is wrong with them. Again, it could be as simple as this person, you know, is working out like a maniac and is constantly dehydrated. They just, or they have, you know, sepsis or infection. It can be treated. Yes?
Are there like memory tricks to kind of help you, like kind of stay, like halt it or slow down the progression?
There, you can't, it's a chronic.
So it's just.
No, but what you can do, what I used to do with my mom when she started to first forget me, and it did help for a while, is really show, you know, pictures, and the progression of somebody, like your children getting older. Mom, this was me at 8, this is me at 10, this is me at 20, 30, 40, I'm not going any higher. But that definitely helped. Physical touch is really important, and things to have for them to touch are also very important. Like a favorite, you know, book. Because if they've been reading, let's say their Bible for the past 10 years, it's, you know, it's a part of them. Because they can't read it anymore doesn't mean it's not important, if that makes sense. Playing music that they used to listen to when they were prepubescent or just at puberty, because your musical imprint is developed at age 14. So, you know, when you hear the song that you used to like go crazy to at 14, like Werewolves of London. I might be dating myself here. But, you know, you're like, oh my God, that's my favorite song. Well, that song made a really big impact on you. You might not remember your kid's name or your husband's name, but you'll remember your favorite song from when you were a kid and the dog you had when you were 4. So again, it's really eating from your most current memories all the way back to, you know, when you were a kid. So, nothing will stop it, nothing will cure it. We, for years and years and years, thought, okay, maybe it's plaque on the brain. Maybe it's it, and everything that they have researched has come up with nothing.
Are there things you should not do? Like, don't bombard them with, I don't know, 10
Yes.
grandkids or some, or I
Oh my
don't
God,
know.
yes. So that's a great question, and I'll hurry it up because of the lack of being able to process anything, any type of stimuli that can be overwhelming should be removed. So the simpler the better. If you need to rethink their wardrobe because their tactile function is starting to fail, everything your brain tells you to do, you know, button your shirt, tie your shoes, will be effective. Velcro and zippers and pull over. So anything that they are used to doing, try and make it much simpler. Breakfast. All right, do you want eggs, pancakes, toast, bagel, fruit? None of those. Don't. I'm not saying that give them a choice, but say, oh, well, let's have breakfast. Because that information is too much, and once they start to process and then fail to process, then people will just shut down, and that's a natural reaction. When I trained the cops, it was interesting to me because they are so trained to be in crisis situations, but it was interesting because most of them said, well, oh, so when we answer a domestic, let's say, and we can tell that somebody is cognitively impaired, do you think it's the right thing to do to turn off the TV or the radio? Yes, absolutely. Anything you can do to remove any type of outside stimulus will make it a better environment for them. Sorry you guys, I'm gonna kill this kid when we get home. But what I told you, did it help a little bit? All right, because this probably won't be the first training you guys will receive, but we're just at this point trying to break through to all the different sectors, and since the park district is part of the coalition, I personally wanted to say thank you for just having me be here to let me talk a little bit about something that will eventually affect most of us.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll continue to have conversations about, how we would react, and we'll continue to roll out trainings. There will be a bunch of online trainings that will be available to the public, so if you know other people, there'll be industry specific, so restaurant people, and there'll be the different categories, so those will be available for everyone, but we will get all of our staff through those eventually. So.
And this is, again, available online, and we can coordinate, and everybody can have this information available.
We'll be putting it up on the hub, so the PowerPoint didn't work, but we'll have the PowerPoint on the hub and keep information going, so if you want resources either for yourself or to refer people, you'll have stuff to share. So.
And my last question is, George the parrot still alive?
Yes. Skipper, George, and Sarah. Hey, Skipper, George, you can go.
Yeah, you go say hi to George.
I have to. You kidding me? Thank you.
When she shared with me a story, she didn't tell me that she broke in. She did share with me about the fact that she became a landscape architect. I thought it was pretty neat. I think that just reminds us that we never know what type of impact we're having on people, regardless of what we do each and every day. I personally had a grandmother who had Alzheimer's, and so a lot of what they're talking about, my mother-in-law currently is going through it. And the progression is slow, but I do think it's one of those things, the more that we can learn and the more that we can show compassion, the better off it just makes all of our programs and services that we deliver to the community. So thanks for being involved, and those of you who will get additional training. They actually, what's the name of the company again, Maureen?
Right at Home?
Right at Home was actually awarded on Monday at the chamber meeting the business of the year in Oak Park for a lot of the work that they're doing.
The amount of time they're spending here in River Forest, it's a lot.
Yeah, so they're doing a lot of great work here. So again, thanks for arranging that, Maureen. A few quick updates. So we do have some new staff members that are here. We have 3 customer service representatives. Let's see, Trisea, Bills, Hannah, and Brianna. Anyone here? No? Okay. Tanya Fisher, sponsorship coordinator? No. James Mamoki? Mamoki? Okay, James. And James was promoted from part-time to full-time from the rink into our grounds team. And then Stacy McNamara. Welcome, Stacy. She is in charge of our aquatics program. Anyone else new? First meeting, first all staff? Okay, great. So the other just little words in regards to staffing is, if you haven't heard, Christina Bradley has announced her retirement. Her last day will be on March 17th, so we wish her the very best, and thanks for all you've done over the years. On the 17th, stay tuned for information on that. And then we also have 2 other full-time staff members who have decided to move on to other opportunities. both Leah and Sarah. So we wish you guys the best of luck in your new endeavors. So at the last meeting, one of the things that I started the meeting with was, what questions do you have for me? That seemed to go over pretty well. So I'm going to open it up again to what questions do you have, and then if you don't cover it, then I have a list that I will cover. So what questions do you guys have in regards to what's going on at the Park District? Now come on, you guys should have known this was a setup from last time. So yeah, not the first time. Yes?
Sorry, just a few because I was out and I haven't covered, but I know we got computers for an esports program to start. Is that happening at Dole now, or is that starting soon?
So the question was in regards to the grant that we received. The grant was actually received for senior computer lab, but we're also going to be using them for esports. And actually, Joe, who will be here in not you, Joe. The other Joe will be here in a minute. He's our technology rep, and we're working with him. But Joe Lilly and his team are working with the kids, and they actually just had a tournament in Chicago this last weekend. I heard it was a great event. And the plan is to have the computers available and up by the end of March so that we can start some of that programming. Okay, other questions?
Any news on the rec center?
So update on the rec center. So I